Let's run this.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Shin Gear. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
They don't miss. They got a bunch of new garments coming out for this coming waterfowl season. Be staying up to date on that. Head over to all their social media accounts. Shin Gear everywhere you look. And I think July 18th you can start ordering stuff. So be on the lookout. Everything they make is phenomenal.
Be some cool stuff there. We're also going to have a really cool giveaway. We're going to give away a hook and gaff watch. Can you put them on the camera? Is that possible?
What'd I do with them?
Right there in front of your laptop.
How many of them?
There's 2 of them. We're going to give one away. Whoever wins gets to choose which one they want. It's a field watch.
The other one goes to us, I guess.
Yes, or we can do another giveaway. We can do another giveaway. We can do another
that?
giveaway with them. But anyways, these are hook and gaff field watches.
Ooh, camera's not on me.
Hook and gaff. You want to open them up and show what they look like?
I can.
Let me have one of them. You take one. I'll open one up and you open one up. So anyways, we're going to give these away at Squad Fest. So
we're going to give one away.
We're going to give one away at Squad Fest. You get to pick which one you want.
Oh.
Anyways, that's one of them. It's a field watch. It's got a rubber band. They're waterproof. I swim in mine. I've got 2 of them. I've got an orange band and white band of the field watches, and I wear mine in the pool. I wore them in Mexico. I swim in the ocean. They're nice. Anyways, there's a one that's got a gray camo, and there's one that's got a green camo.
Well, these bands are interchangeable, so
yeah,
I mean,
you can change.
Really, just pick which face you want, and you can tailor your band. Cool watches.
So, anyways, that's from Hook and Gaff. It's an American-made company, made right there in, I believe, Charleston, South Carolina, is where they're made at. So, anyways, check them out. Check them out at hookandgaff.com. Check them out on the Instagram, on the gram. And holler if you need anything. But anyways, we're going to have a giveaway. We're going to give these away. We're going to give one of these watches away at Squad Fest. So we're not going to have it with us at Squad Fest. We're just going to draw the name at Squad Fest. So anyways, holler if you need anything on, or let us know. Give some feedback on it. I'm rambling right now. You checking them out, Andy, now?
Yeah, they're nice watches.
They are very nice watches. Very comfortable. Sporting watches.
I was just, because on your other one, it didn't look like your second hand moved.
It doesn't. Every one of them's different. My other one's on my desk in there, my orange one.
Oh.
It's a different kind. They got all kinds of watches. Like I said, go check them out at hookandgaff.com. Okay, folks.
Swiss movement. That's how you know it's good.
Yep. Let me have one of them. I'll put them back in there. Anyways, come to Squad Fest. We have all kinds of stuff. We'll be at the Boss booth. Come by and check us out. Buy some of that good old Steel Reserve. And you better get your shells. I'm telling you, people. First person that calls me in January and says, well, hell, I didn't know we was going to run out of shells. Well, there's a chance that you're going to have a big loss in the amount of shells out there to get. So you better hurry up and get you some stuff, because powder shortage is real with this Ukraine stuff. And speaking of government, me and Andy's going to give a quick recap of the debate. I was in Mexico and I did not watch the debate.
Didn't watch a minute of it.
Nope. I've seen a lot of highlights of it. I've done a lot of reading. I actually listened to a bunch of stuff yesterday coming home, and I'd be pissed if I was a Democrat right now. I'm telling you right now, as a Republican, I'm as happy as shit right now, because I'm predict right now, it doesn't matter who the Democrats win, they can't win. They can't win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy. I don't give a shit if they run Hillary. I don't care if they run Big Mike. I don't think Big Mike wants to be put through the ringer, so I think Shim's out. But I think Hillary would love to be in there. Hillary can't beat Trump. Way too many questions. All this Epstein Island stuff just come out yesterday. It's kind of like there's a plan. I felt a complete reverse energy yesterday listening to the news cycle, as has been what's like depressing for the last 3 years where I hadn't listened to it.
You should have heard it the night of.
Oh, I bet.
Or the next day.
I still think it's funny when people like Nancy Pelosi try to flip the script that Trump's the one with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Trump can take questions all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to Kellyanne Conway last night talking, and she said it's leaking now at all the Biden's administration that Biden's in bad shape. And she said people are just shocked by this. Were you shocked? Were you shocked by any of this?
Have you not watched anything that he's done the last year?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about it that shocked me.
Right.
And then your mother put it so eloquently. She said, you got to realize these people have been fed nothing from the mainstream media about pro-Biden stuff.
Right.
She goes, their Instagram doesn't show the things that we see.
Mm-hmm.
Their Facebook doesn't show the same things we see.
Yeah, they're stuck in that loop.
And she goes, they didn't know. So I would be so freaking pissed if I was a Democrat. They said Rob Reiner was fucking screaming.
Really?
They had an LA Hollywood deal of this. They said Jane Fonda was crying and Rob Reiner was screaming.
Just because they're like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I mean,
We thought he was all good.
Yes, they were like, they just couldn't believe it. And
Really?
I thought this from before last year, before he even ran in 2020, how bad he was.
Right.
But if I was a Democrat, I would be pissed. I really would. I wish Trump, if they do another debate, I don't think they'll have another debate.
He says that he's going to.
Trump does or Biden?
Biden said he's committed to the September debate.
Biden has no clue what he's saying. That's what I feel so sorry for. Biden's a puppet. I've said that for the last 4 years. People say, "Well, Biden did this." Biden didn't do that shit. He don't know what the fuck's going on. Now the person they're going to make the scapegoat on this is his wife. She's catching a lot of flack now, and she should for elderly abuse.
Yeah.
She's a doctor. She should know better.
They say she's the only reason he's running this year.
Well, him and Hunter. They said Hunter was just adamant that he stays in the race. Well, yeah, because if Hunter gets convicted and goes to prison, his daddy can fucking get him out, and he's going to.
I'm not finding anything about Rob Reiner freaking out, but it's also TikTok. So
Yeah, Rob Reiner. I'm sure it's not on film. I heard it on 2 or 3 different outlets. Said there was a Los Angeles debate party, which boy sounds like a lot of fucking fun. And Rob Reiner was there, and they said he was screaming like, "We fucking lost the election," like really raising hell. And then Jane Fonda was bawling about all this. And I was enlightened on some things that I read and listened to about it, and it made some sense. They say the top 10% wealth bracket people that are Democrats are happy as hell with what's going on in the world right now.
Because they're getting richer.
They've gotten a lot wealthier in the last 3 years. Second, they've got all these illegal immigrants, and a lot of them have them for domestic employees.
Right.
And so it's not hard for them to get employees because Americans are lazy and don't want to do shit. And I will agree with them on that. And the third thing is that everybody else is struggling money-wise right now. So they're not having to compete for the stuff they want to buy and do with other people because there's not that many people have the money to do it.
But what would us normal folk be competing with a Rob Reiner or Jane Fonda for? It's not like I'm going to go buy the yacht that they were thinking about getting. I'm not going to go move into their neighborhood. Or
maybe it's doing things without as bigger crowds at certain places because people can't afford to go.
That could make sense, like skiing in Aspen.
Yes,
got the runs to yourself.
Maybe there's not as many people there as there was before. Things are expensive. Things in Mexico have gotten expensive. I went into a Mexican pharmacy and was just getting some prices on stuff, and they had Tylenol with codeine, 20 of them. How much you think they were?
$50.
$200.
$4 a pill?
$10 a pill.
How many?
20 pills were $200.
Oh.
I told that lady, I said, "What's that in English? Or what's that in US dollars?"
You're looking at it.
She told me $200. I was like, son of a bitch. Because it used to,
Right.
We bought all that shit a year ago, a lot cheaper.
Z-Packs and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was on Cosmail too, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
Yep.
And but yeah, the pharmacy things were not as cheap as they were before, and it's affected that economy down there.
I saw somebody had their shopping cart, their online order at Walmart, same exact order from 2022, I think it was, and it was $126, and they just redid it. I guess you can do that. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me guess. $312.
$404.
God almighty, 4 times as much almost.
Yep. Same exact order from 2022. That was $100 change.
See, that's what the Democrats can't run away from. You can say what you want to, but that lady that's struggling to feed her family, or that little family, or those 2 elderly people that are retired, they can't afford that.
No.
I mean, it's expensive.
But I don't know what a Republican's going to do to fix it either, though.
They could do some things to make inflation go away.
I mean, it's just like we've talked about this before. Like whenever the gas company, or whenever you can get by with selling gas for $3 a gallon, it's hard to go down to $2. because you condition the customer to paying $3.
That's a commodity, though. That's going to be that doesn't. That's not a company setting the price on that.
Does Wonder Bread set their prices?
Yes.
Okay. Is Wonder Bread going to say, "Oh no, let's take $1 off of our loaf"?
I don't know. Inflation's got something to do with it. They can fix it. I'm not an economist. I don't know. I don't have any money because I spend my money. So I don't have an answer to those questions. I can't tell you how to fix a lot of these problems. I can tell you how I would fix the Mexico problem. It's an easy solution.
Right.
Shut that fucking border down. Shut off all money transfers to there if they're not going to comply with this, and they'll comply really fast.
But I mean, some of this that we're seeing is just
greed.
Yeah. I did see, I'll come in the, Arizona tea?
Yes.
They sell like a big sweet tea thing for 99 cents. And somebody was asking the CEO, like, or the owner, I guess. And they were like, why don't you, inflation's real bad right now. Why don't you go up on your price? We're making enough money.
That's good to see.
He's like, we're fine. That everything we have is paid for. Things are tough right now for a lot of people. And there's no reason for us to go up to $1.50 for this.
And they're going to sell us more shit than 99 cents. Would.
And they're like, well, can you promise your customers that you'll never have a price increase? He's like, I can't promise that.
But I'm not going up now when everybody else is.
He's like, but I'm not going to go up now. He said, I can't promise you 2 years down the road or 6 months that we don't have to look at things and go up on our price. But he said, right now we're good at 99 cents. We're fine. So I just, that's one of those things that seems like low hanging fruit to me. And I'm going to be critical of Trump here because somebody has to be. For 90 minutes of that 2-hour debate, they did not answer a single question. And inflation was one of the questions that neither one of them answered.
See, I didn't watch it.
Trump had his opportunity to say how he was going to fix high grocery costs. And he didn't. He used that opportunity. He used that 2 minutes to tell the American public that Biden is the worst president ever. And he continued that for the next 90 minutes. And what Biden did for the next 90 minutes, when Trump said that Biden was the worst president ever, Biden said, no, you're the worst president ever. So for 90 minutes, the American public, some of the hardest times that the American public has ever seen, we're in the middle of right now. If you are a millennial or a Gen Zer, you're not going to be able to afford a home. You can't. I'll pull up the numbers here after a while. Rising home costs, didn't touch it. The opioid pandemic, didn't touch it. I don't know if they talked about how unhealthy we are as a society. Didn't touch it. The only thing they talked about was the border and a couple other topics, but it wasn't many.
That's because that's the number one top problem in America. People think right now. If you take a poll, that's what I did. I'm not taking up for Trump. Trump did exactly what I would have done, though. I would not
answer anything about some of the major issues that are going on in our country.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't have talked hardly at all, and I'd have let Biden drown. Because that's the game, is to win.
CNN bailed Biden out a couple times.
But that's the whole game, to win.
Mm-hmm.
And he won that part.
Yep.
Yes, I saw the stuff you're talking about, and I agree with you on that. Trump had a good record. He could come back and say, this is what we did when I was president. I don't know how to fix the inflation problem. I don't know how to fix the interest rate problem.
You can't fix the interest rate problem because if it goes down, there was somebody talking about if you lower interest rates, the rich are just going to go in and scoop it all up.
No, I don't know the answer to that. That's what I said. I'm not an economist, so I can't tell you the answer on that. I can say I would have let Biden drown, and he did that.
He did.
Now, I want to hold my president to some standards, and I'm talking about Trump if he gets elected. First thing I want to see us do is cut off all that fucking money to Ukraine. Day one. We ain't sending you another dime.
It sounds like he would.
Well, that's what I want. I want you to do that first. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to release the Epstein list. The whole fucking list. Let everybody know who's being blackmailed by the CIA.
Something came out yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, in Florida's releasing some stuff, but I don't know that they're releasing a lot of names.
Okay.
I want the list released. I want to know who's being blackmailed by the CIA or the deep state or whoever it is that's controlling all this shit, because that's the problem. If we could get all that list out there and get all them people out, then this thing will go, a lot of these problems will go away probably. Mm-hmm. So I want to see the Epstein list released. That's one thing I really, really, really want to see. I want to see us fix that fucking border. I want us to deport a bunch of these freaking people that are over here that are felons and stuff.
What do you think about Trump's plan? If you are an illegal immigrant and you come over here and you get a college degree, you get to stay.
I don't have a problem with that. If you want to be I don't have a problem if you come over here and you dig fucking ditches. Come over here, get a work permit, check in, do what you're supposed to do, be here for 10 years, stay out of trouble, become part of society, and become a U.S. citizen. I don't have no issue with that at all. That's I don't have a problem.
So you're pro illegal immigration.
I'm pro legal immigration. If you come
just said if you come over here, I said if you come over here illegally and you graduate from college and get a degree, like Trump has said, you get to stay.
And then
you get a green card.
And I followed that up with, I don't care if you're a ditch digger, if you come over here and do it legally and you have
illegally.
a degree.
Trump said illegally.
Oh, no. I want you to become legal. I want you to go check in at immigration office and go do things the right way. And if you want to get a college degree and become a citizen, I'm good with that. I don't care what you do. If you want to come over here legally and do what you're supposed to do, go through the proper procedure. Make the procedure easier for people, though. Don't make it so freaking hard. But I stood in line in immigration yesterday to go check back in, to come into my own freaking country. And there's a glass panel there, and I'm trapped behind this glass panel. If I was going to Detroit, I'd be walking on the other side of the glass, get on the plane, no problem at all. And I had to go through a bunch of stuff. Well, my driver's license ought to be enough to get me back into my country. I'm a U.S. citizen.
You would figure.
But it had to go through these leaps and all this other bullshit. That I have a problem with that. Especially if I'd come in from Mexico and I'd have waded across, they'd have given me $10,000 and a trip anywhere and they wanted to go on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see them fix some of the immigration problems. I want them to fix that, but I want them to deport everybody that's been in trouble and stuff, deport their ass. If you come over here and you burn an American flag and you're not a U.S. citizen, you go fucking right back to where you're from. You don't stay here. If you don't like it, tough shit. How dare me move to Jamaica and then burn a Jamaican flag because they don't do shit? They're going to fucking run me out of that country, and they should.
And they should.
And that's what we should do too. I want to see voting rules and regulations fixed where we're not buying elections. I want to see some.
Been that way forever.
No, I want to see some limits on it.
On like how much a candidate can spend?
Yes. I want to see them put down and make it
they already have that, don't they?
No, shit, no. They got all these super PACs and all this other shit. I want that shit gone. I want them to get rid of lobbyists. There's no sense for having lobbyists. Why are people getting paid to blackmail fucking senators and congressmen and buy them shit to vote for them? They shouldn't be doing that. They get paid a salary.
Mm-hmm.
Not what my list is huge and it ain't ever going to happen anyways. But I think we're going to get a new president.
100%.
The Democrats are in a big, we're going to get a new president regardless because it's either going to be another Republican or it's going to be another Democrat. They're screwed on this Kamala Harris deal.
What do you mean?
Well, Kamala identifies as a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how black she really is, other than her mom
this says there is a spending limit. It's $123 million.
Well, Biden has $250 million in his war chest right now.
I mean, am I getting that wrong?
One of the conditions.
Right here. General election spending limit for 2024. The spending limit for 2024 for publicly funded general election presidential campaign is $123,595,200. Have I got that right?
Yes, and I don't know how that they're way over that though. But they get these super PACs and shit. They do these other PACs and stuff, and they spend $120 million.
Maybe that's for each entity. Biden can spend that. Super PAC can spend that. The Democratic Party can spend that.
I don't know, but they said yesterday he had $250 million in his war chest.
Right.
Biden did. Now, by law, the only person that can spend that money other than him is Kamala Harris. That money's tied to her.
Mm-hmm.
So if he drops out and they want to bring in Gavin Newsom, that money can't be spent by Gavin Newsom, not a dime of it.
The Democratic Party doesn't have $250 million?
Joe Biden's does. Joe Biden's campaign does.
That's
it's not a DNC deal. It's a Joe Biden's presidential. Do you want to contribute money to the Joe Biden's presidential deal? Yes,
right.
You get money. That goes to him and Kamala. It doesn't go to the DNC.
Huh. So what happens to all that money? It just evaporates?
Well, nothing's evaporating. You know somebody's going to fucking get it. Zelensky will probably end up with it one day. So I don't know the answer. The three problems they have is that's one problem right there. You've given $200 million. These companies have given you millions and millions of dollars. And then they're going to say, whoa, hold on. Now we got to do it again.
Right.
Because that money we gave you before is no good for nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can give it back. So that's one problem. Second problem is that Kamala Harris is a black lady. She checked that box. They wanted a woman and they wanted a black woman.
They got them both with her.
So they got that. So they checked that box and they got it for VP. Well, now you're going to kick her off the ticket and bring in Gavin Newsom. So you're going to white male and get rid of a black woman. That's your whole thing with your woke, the group you're trying to push.
Yeah, but they're bleeding the black vote right now.
Well, I understand that, but you're really going to bleed it if you do that. There's going to be, because Kamala's not going to be happy. She's not going to go away happy like old Gay Pete did when he just walked away that time. Mm-hmm. She's not going to be happy. You know, that one thing they had was they wanted to put her on the Supreme Court to get her out of the way. Mm-hmm. Well, that hasn't happened now either. So they're stuck with her. Well, she sees this, oh, hell, I'm going to be president here. Because if they invoke the 25th Amendment on him, I'm going to be president. Mm-hmm. If he dies, I'm going to be president. If he runs and does somehow win because they cheat so much, she's going to end up being president because he ain't going to make 4 more years.
He'll be 86. So Trump will be 83.
Well, it's not even an age deal. He just ain't going to be. There's 85-year-old men out there that are real sharp that can make it. And there's 65-year-old guys that got dementia and can't do shit.
Yeah.
She's going to be president, and she knows that. So she ain't going to give that shit up easy. Their third problem is that a lot of these states have already certified this election. No, they haven't put them on the ballot yet. Yes, a lot of them have. Even ones that have early elections, they've already printed this shit up and stuff.
How can they do that? They haven't had a convention.
I know that, but the conventions are so late that they have to do it before. 30 a Democratic senator from South Carolina, I read his article.
Just because they print out the ballot doesn't mean
it's been certified by the state already. On 38 different states have already done it. And remember, the same way RFK can't get on the ballot because he didn't meet these deadlines. Remember that?
He is on the ballots.
Not all states.
That's because they're still going on.
No, that's because you had to have something by a certain date to be certified.
No, he's still going. He's getting sued by the Biden campaign.
Okay. I'm telling you what I read from a Democrat. And I listened to it and I heard 3 different people say it too. There's certain states, and there's a big majority of them, that it's too late to change if they change to Gavin Newsom or somebody to run. They didn't run a primary. Yes, they're supposed to have a convention deal. Supposedly in 38 states, they can't change the deal. The only person they can change to put on the ballot is Kamala because she's on it with Joe Biden already. Because we had primaries in these states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
They said it's going to be a huge legal debacle to be able to take her off that ballot and put somebody else in if they decide to not go with Joe Biden. So that's the issue they're going to have. But if I was a Democrat, I'd be mad. If I was an old couple that lived in the middle of frickin' Pennsylvania and all you did was watch The View and you watched this and then you saw him on TV the other night, you've got to feel like you've been lied to so bad. And they're like, what the hell happened to him? Well, we've known this for 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
And they screwed up with RFK Jr. because if they would have done their primaries, they would have had a fallback candidate to fall back on.
What do you mean? He would have been waiting?
He would have been the Democratic presidential nominee is what they would have done. They could have went just straight to him is what they should have done on this deal. But they don't want to do that. And they've already got his family to come out and talk about what a nut job he is.
Right.
So they fucked themselves on that deal too.
So yeah, August.
Ouch.
These states are still going on. Pennsylvania doesn't even have a deadline until August 1st.
Yeah, that's in 30 days.
Right. But
I'm just telling you what I read. Their time is very tight right now, and a lot of places it's too late, they said.
That's interesting.
That's one of the other problems they have. But they're dealing with the Kamala deal is a big problem for them. And he's really going to steal Democratic votes now.
Independent candidate RFK Jr. campaign says he has qualified for just more than a fifth of the 50 states. This is an article from May, so 2 months ago. Less than 6 months until the election, RFK has successfully petitioned to get on the battleground states of Michigan, Ohio, New Hampshire, Nevada, North Carolina. I know he's on Texas now, so this is 2 months old. I'm trying to find a newer article that might shed some light. But I don't know. I might search this a different way.
It's also funny, the stories coming out of the White House now is how they put a lid on everything.
What do you mean? Put a lid on what?
On
how bad he is?
Dealing with Biden. They say that Jill Biden does not let nobody around him.
Right.
He's got 2 or 3 handlers, and that's all that gets to deal with him. They said the staff at the White House is not even allowed to be around him sometimes. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff's leaking now. Now, are they leaking because the DNC's trying to get rid of him? Or this people just finally waking up to realize that it's out public now?
I don't think that they put in Newsom because I think they have plans for him for 2028. I don't think they want to burn him.
I think your 2028 guy's right there.
No, I don't know.
Robert Kennedy will be their 2028 candidate.
I don't know how old he is.
Oh, he's 50, 60 maybe. He's fine. His age, he's in great shape. He's good.
I heard this. George W. Bush is younger than both Trump and Biden.
I'm sure.
And he's been out of office for 16 years.
I'm sure of that.
I'm trying to find more. The campaign's aggressive operation has surpassed all of its milestones. And Sir Kennedy Shanahan ticket is on the ballot in all 50 states.
He's gonna.
I don't know.
The Democrats are really gonna buck him now.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if they'll go back to him because he said he would be open. He would be if the Democrat called him, he would be open to running on the Democratic ticket. But he says the DNC it's full of corruption and they don't want him.
But he may be their best bet. He is going to see if they would have went with him on this. They still, I mean, look what Trump did. The deep state made Trump's life hell for so many times. Everything he did, they tried to buck and stuff. They couldn't buck him on the Supreme Court. Thank God. That's turned out to be the best thing ever. Now they're fixing to have to probably drop the charges on him in New York City because it's gonna fall under that immunity. So he's gonna all that shit's probably gonna go away. But if the Democrats would have stayed with RFK Jr., at least let him run in the primaries, they would have a backup now that they might be able to bleed people back over to. Now they're going to deal with RFK Jr. is going to be on the ballot, the states that he can be on the ballot, and I don't know which ones it's going to be. He is going to bleed a lot of votes now from Biden.
Right.
Just name recognition. He's a Kennedy, and Biden's full of shit.
Well, they say he does not do well with baby boomers.
RFK don't?
Nope.
They don't know who Kennedys are.
That's his weakest. If you took out baby boomers, he wins pretty easily.
Why is that he doesn't resonate with him? Is it because they don't know the Kennedy name or legacy?
I don't know. He just said that that's his weakest group. He's up on both of them with people my age, but baby boomers are Barbara's age, right? They're the 60 plus.
I thought it was baby. I thought you said generations. I'm sorry. It's not the young people. It's the older people.
Yeah.
I wonder why. I don't. That doesn't make sense because I figured people like that it would be easier for them. I think his name recognition.
Because Steve's baby boomer was like 50 to 60.
No.
Born 1950.
Oh yes.
1950 to 1960 ish.
That's crazy because those people all knew his dad, knew who his uncle was, and his uncle was a good president.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't like JFK.
Did you see where the governor of Michigan come out and said that their state's not winnable now for the Democrats?
Really?
Yep. After the debate, says you can't win here now.
It's only going to get worse.
Oh, it just everything's happening to him all at once. But he don't know. I'm not taking up for Joe Biden because I don't like the guy. He was a lying sack of shit before he had dementia. He hasn't known what's going on for 4 or 5 years. Everybody fucking knows that shit. You haven't noticed. He don't take questions. Someone said that yesterday. They said, he did some kind of come out about this immunity shit. No one's above the law, and they're making Trump a king and all this other bullshit. The same man that's got 228 family businesses and they don't have one thing they sell. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about all that shit. And they said that would have been a perfect moment for him to say, does anybody have any questions here? Let me answer some questions and go over all the questions and shit. But he don't do it. They take him right off stage real fast again.
Yeah, and there were a couple times that he was drowning, to say the least. And then the moderators, who did a pretty good job, they would bail him out. All right, Mr. President, your time is up. Now, the one thing that, and I am all for freedom of speech. I want to get that straight right now. But those two men spent probably 30 minutes arguing
over golf.
No. That was another sham that I was really happy to be an American, and these are the two guys that we picked. Awesome job. They spent 20 minutes arguing about who ran up the most national debt. Trump says Biden did. Biden says Trump did. If I were the moderator, that's an easy answer to find.
That's not a hard one.
There's no reason that we should be spending 20 minutes of our time arguing about who ran up the most national debt. Because it's he said, she said. After the second or third time that this gets brought up and we're stuck in the mud, somebody should be in the moderator's ear and say, okay, just so that we can move on and get out of this fucking rut that we're in, it was you, Mr. President, who ran up the most national debt. And then fucking move on. There's no reason that we should spend 20 minutes arguing about who ran up the most national debt. None. It's an easy fact find. And I don't give a fuck who it was.
You know why they did that, though?
Why?
But they didn't want him to get into some other thing he was going to fuck up more. They're arguing over that deal.
What if it was Trump? What if it was Trump that ran up the most national debt?
Was it?
I don't know, but I'm saying that there's no reason that we're spending 20 minutes of this presidential debate. Everybody has said this is the most important presidential election that we'll ever have. And we can't do a little bit of fact checking. We're going to spend 20 minutes saying, no, you ran up the most national debt. No, fuck you. You ran up the most national debt. You're the most president. You're the worst president ever. No, you're the worst president ever. That's how we're going to spend 90 minutes of this 2-hour debate.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that CNN, if they're on his side, they don't want to, if they're just arguing over meaningless, mindless shit, they're wanting it to get over with before he says something really fucking stupid, like Hunter smokes or snorts crack off someone's ass. I mean, that's why. It was a lost deal for them within a minute of it. They knew. And so maybe that was their, I don't know why they did that shit. Just like them fucking arguing over a golf deal. That was fucking stupid. That's where I wish Trump would have just said, you're right, Joe, you get the better golf score, and just let it go. He won the deal.
Yeah, but that was a good soundbite for him. It was a good soundbite for him. I will give him that. But as somebody who really wanted to see something of some substance and some answers, you spent 90 minutes calling each other the worst president ever and saying that you've done more harm than good to this country. And the biggest thing that both of you took issue with was that he said he's got a better golf game than you.
That's what I'm saying.
That was your sticking point after 2 hours of biggest name calling. It was, fuck you, dude. I've got a better golf game than you.
That's why I said, that's why I wish he'd just let it go. Let him drown.
But it was a good soundbite because a lot of people loved it.
Don't argue with him about it. Just let it go.
He also had a good one that said, I don't know what he just said.
Yeah.
He doesn't know either.
Yeah, that's great. I saw that was right off the bat. I got that. That was flooding my phone right quick. I like Trump.
I know you.
There's some things about Trump I have not liked, but his good outweighs the bad because he's good for our country.
I hope he does well this time.
He did good last time. He didn't do COVID. Before COVID, things were great. And I believe that was all done on purpose. But that's here or there. And it's time to move forward. He proved he could be a good president. He was really good for our economy. He was good for American businesses, and he will be again. He's a sharp man. The other guy's a fucking idiot, a lifetime politician, and we don't need lifetime politicians. Scares me is the election in 2028 we're going to have. What are we going to have running, you know? Is Don Jr. going to run? Because I don't have a problem with that. I don't like Mark Cuban, but at least he's a businessman. Jeff Bezos, businessman. Not a big fan of his either.
They say that J.D. Vance guy's pretty good.
I've heard that he's pretty sharp, and that's kind of who, if he don't take Tulsi, that's what I'd like to have for his VP.
I don't know if he's going to do Tulsi. He said whoever he's picking was at the debate.
I don't know who.
And I don't know who all was at the debate. But I don't know if he's going to go Tulsi or not.
But he's a good leader. Biden's terrible. The Democratic Party don't give two shits about America the last 3 years. But it's not Biden. It's the Democratic Party and the deep state. George Soros. Why do we let that guy influence all of our shit? Mm-hmm. I do not understand that. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't George Soros and it was, I don't even know who the fuck's a wealthy conservative out there. But
Elon Musk?
Let's say it's Elon Musk.
He's more conservative, I think.
And Elon Musk was throwing money in every court system and every deal. I would have a problem with that too.
Right.
We should not be letting a rich person, just because they're wealthy, buy their way to what they want. And George Soros, I don't know why we keep up with that shit. And he's in very deep with the Democrats. What do you think? Who do you think's going to be who do you think's going to be if Biden drops out? I do not think Biden's going to drop out.
So if you read the news from the weekend, they had that emergency meeting or whatever.
They did a family photo show with Vogue is what that was.
Oh, was it?
That's all that fucking was. Vogue. Jill Biden on the cover. She is on the cover of Vogue magazine.
Oh, good for her. If you believe what has been said about the meeting this weekend, Jill's going to do everything that she can to keep him on the ballot.
And Hunter.
The
two most influential people in his life. She wants the power. She even made a comment in this Vogue magazine, they were talking about it, that she said, you just can't understand the feeling it is when you drive through a city and all the highways are completely blocked down, all the entrances where people can get on.
It's because nobody's there to see you.
And you just get to drive through, and that's the most powerful thing in the world when you see the whole world stops for everything you do, and you get a free pass through everything.
Wow.
She don't want to give that shit up.
Right.
And then Hunter is going to go to prison if his daddy's not president.
Right.
Because the next president, if it's a Democrat, he's not pardoning him.
Right. So
you think that
I'm split. I mean, I really did you read what Tucker Carlson said today? Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I saw him in Australia ripping on a fucking reporter's ass.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. So here's RFK why he doesn't resonate with
The group that I don't do well in are baby boomers. I believe the reason is that they get their news from television, from MSNBC, from CNN,
so that would make
from
sense.
The New York Times and the Washington Post. If that was the news bubble that I was living in, I would have a very low opinion of myself as well.
I think there's another reason why you don't do well with boomers. The day you took your shirt off and started doing push-ups, you pissed off a lot of boomers. Yes or no? I think when people saw...
So, I mean, that's a reasonable explanation. Okay. Tucker Carlson says, Biden is done. Bet on it. Too many prominent Democrats have suggested he's brain damaged. They can't walk that back. They have to remove him, and they will. The only question is when. If they're smart, they'll do it immediately. If Kamala is going to be the nominee, she might as well be the president first. That leaves the question of Trump and his sentencing on July 11th. Biden's collapse make this a much more perilous moment than it was. At this point, Trump is not just a Republican candidate, but effectively the presumptive president. If you're going to put him in jail, it has to be for a very, very serious crime that everyone agrees he committed. Otherwise, you will risk destroying the system completely and forever. We are in legitimate danger. Democrats need to pull back. So Tucker Carlson, who I think of as pretty smart and
he's a sharp man.
Pretty in tune with what's going on politically. He spent his life in it. He seems to believe that Biden is done. I don't know who you're going to put up there without just throwing your hands up and saying, we concede this election. You know?
Okay. Hold on one second. I'll call Mom real quick. So you're going to have to block this out. Or not block it out, don't really matter. My damn phone don't work now here.
SOS?
Fuck yeah, why is it like that? I didn't have no cell service the whole fucking time. Hold on.
Did you see, what's his name? That liberal douchebag.
Which one?
Jon Stewart.
No.
Making fun of Biden on...
well, they changed. They flipped scripts real quick, didn't they?
Making fun of Biden on abortion. It's actually pretty funny. He's like...
Political expert. But while Biden was preparing at Camp David for a week, did anyone mention he would also be on camera? On the split screen? Is there any moment here that can save Biden?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Oh, shit, we're back, baby! Abortion! A to the B to the O to the R to the T to the repeal of Roe v. Wade. That is Trump's weakest issue.
It's been a great thing.
Oh, he is. It's a great thing. Hit him, Joey.
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done.
This is awesome. We are done here. TKO. No. Joe, don't say anything else. Joey.
The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by
Is this true?
Yeah.
I mean, and they talk about that.
I didn't see that.
He's like...
did you just immigration abortion?
He did.
Hey, I know abortion's one of our strongest issues, but let me for a moment talk about immigrants killing and raping people. It's one of our weakest.
But anyway,
that I don't. Tucker Carlson's a sharp guy. I say Biden either gets Clintonized in the next 4 months, which is I think is a legit.
I don't know if you even have to Clintonize him. I think you just got to wait out the clock.
Well, it's getting. Who knows? There's people like that live for 20 years.
Yeah,
they're like that. So I don't. I don't think that he's not going to go willingly because his family and he is the president. And
you think he knows what's at stake for his family? Like a lot of my family's going to jail if I don't make it to be president.
I don't think he knows if he's shitting in his pants or eating Fruit Loops. I don't. I really don't know. I'm sure he's got some things that he does, but I really do not think that he is cognitive enough to understand what the grasp of it all. I really do not think so. That's why they do not let him free speech anything, because that shit right there where he went from abortion to illegal immigrants. So
well, they said if he's going to have to do a lot more like podcast and start taking questions if he's going to be taken seriously.
Yeah, because everybody thinks what we have fought for the last 4 years, the other side realizes now.
Right.
I mean, that's why I wasn't shocked by any of this.
Right.
There's nothing surprises me about this. And nobody on our side did. But the other side, the other 50%, well, I'm going to say 38% of the other 50% of the people in this country were just totally fucking couldn't believe it. They were like, oh my God, what happened?
But that just shows you how powerful social media is. Because like if you haven't liked that certain, if you're in that different algorithm, you're in a totally different world.
Yes,
than what we are.
And so, but we all knew.
Right.
But
yeah, I've seen him stumbling.
And so, yeah, so that part didn't shock me. I think that he's going to stick around as long as Hunter and Jill don't get over. There's somebody in the deep state that's got a whole lot more pull than they do. Barack Obama, maybe. I don't know. If he does come out as president, if he does not run, they almost have to run Kamala just because of the eye content of it. Because if you take this black woman off, someone out there is going to make a big push on that. And it don't have to be Trump. It can be one of these super PACs. Hey, looky here. Here's your party that's all for inclusive on women and people of color and all minorities and all this other stuff. And they're kicking this minority out to bring in this rich kid, Nancy Pelosi's nephew from California, and we're going to let him run Gavin Newsom.
And he did a terrible job in California.
He's fucking horrible.
That's what's great. That's why I don't think we're far enough away from COVID for him to be a candidate.
No.
I think if you got to 2028, you would have more time and more people would forget just how bad you fuck. Did you see Corolla grilling him?
Yeah, it's bad.
Why did you shut down the beaches in California during COVID? Yeah. Why did you arrest people that were in the middle of the ocean on a paddleboard during COVID?
But you went to the French Laundry and ate.
Right.
I don't think Gavin Newsom is there. Gretchen Whitmer at Michigan is not there. I don't think any politician on the Democratic side can beat Trump right now because as bad as things are right now. Right. I really don't. I just do not think that. I am damn sure biased. There's no doubt about it.
The question is how big does Trump win by, in my mind?
Yes. I don't think so. And Big Mike is not coming into this. She wants no part of this, and she has been saying this and saying this and saying this. All the questions about her, and if it's not true, then I feel sorry for the lady. I really do.
About her penis?
Yes. Then I really feel bad if it's not true.
Oh.
If she really is a woman, I feel sorry for her. I really do. And if those two daughters are really hers, then we are evil people to make us think that it's not. I mean, we really are.
True.
I mean, I would feel really, as a human being, it would hurt me to hurt someone so bad to make a woman think that she doesn't have a vagina. You mean really think about that? If she really legitimately was a woman, you know how bad that would be?
I'm sure she's heard worse.
You think so? They're sheltered. Them fuckers live in they don't live the world that we do.
Right.
They don't worry about somebody going.
So you don't think she knows that there's a rumor about her being a man going around?
I don't know.
What's crazy is if you see Biden debate, like how sharp he was. I mean, he was good back in the day.
He was a smart guy. Lying sack of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, you take out facts or whatever, but I mean,
the continuation of a tax cut that will give an additional $500 billion in tax cuts to 120,000 families, and they're holding hostage the middle class tax cut because they say we won't continue the middle-class tax cut unless you give the tax cut for the super wealthy. It's about time they take some responsibility.
Make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID.
Look at Trump's look.
Dealing with everything we have to do with. If we finally beat Medicare.
Father Time is undefeated.
And that's what he says, Mr. President, or did she call him Mr. President to Donald Trump?
I can't remember.
Would you like to?
No. He didn't say that there. He said that. He said, yeah, you beat Medicare. You beat it to death.
Oh, that's what he says there?
Yeah.
He was looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? But I think personally, I don't think they replace him. If they do, I don't think they can go anywhere from Kamala. Hillary Clinton, I would love to get to see Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump debate again.
Initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Yeah. We had the safest border in the history of our country.
It was about border.
The border. All he had to do.
Not, I don't even know how he got into Medicare with the question that he was talking about.
But the guy is not well. And
Father Time, man.
But Michelle Obama don't want to run. I mean, there's a big rumor now that her daughters and them don't ever do nothing. You don't ever see them together. They don't do nothing. They've kind of went their way now. And I don't know how true any of that shit is. And I really don't care.
Right.
I wish the Obamas would leave and we'd never hear from them again. I think they started the world that we're in, but they put the United States on fire a long time ago. And it's a shame because everything he said he was going to run for, he sounded like a really good dude at first, but he don't give a shit about America. So I don't think Michelle Obama wants to be involved with it. I don't think any celebrity is going to come jump on board that people are going to like. So I think the Democrats are in big trouble. And I don't think Gavin Newsom is the answer. California's a shithole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of all the states to pick, if you had to say what state is a complete dumpster fucking fire, would you stay away from? California would be on that poll from 90% of the people in the country.
Right.
They'd say, fuck, I wouldn't go to California.
Let's get their governor to run.
Yeah. The second place would be New York.
Yeah.
Now, upstate New York is wonderful, but New York City and California as a whole, those two is the worst. Why don't you just get fucking Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City? Fuck, he's fucked everything up there too. Nobody wants that shit. So I would find a place that's sturdy. And Governor Abbott, I'm not a big Governor Abbott guy, but he's a lot better governor than any of them other governors are.
He's not a Democrat though.
Yes, that's right. And if you look at all the big cities in the country, they're shitholes.
But I mean, you can't get Abbott to run on the Democrat ticket.
No. I'm talking about it's not like you're popping up a governor from a state
that did well.
That's doing well. Like Bill Clinton, when he was at Arkansas, Arkansas was probably fiscally stable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had all that good Iran-Contra drug cocaine money coming in there for him in mean Arkansas. But he had something that he could show his state was
right.
Gavin Newsom's pissed now that the people are starting to show all the truth about how bad California really is. I mean, Adam Carolla was a diehard Democrat. Did you see him talking about his mom?
I didn't know he was a Democrat.
His mom went to her fucking grave mad. When they recalled, he goes, I'm voting for Larry Elder. She goes, who's Larry Elder? And he told her, she goes, well, he's not a Democrat, is he? He goes, no, Mom. She goes, well, we can't vote for him. We're Democrats. He goes, the whole fucking world's on fire, Mom, right here. Everything. Everything about California sort of people shitting on the streets. They're burning stuff up. They got homeless camps everywhere. And you think we need more of this?
You probably don't know who he is. I think his name's Michael Rappaport or something.
Oh, Michael
like
Rappaport. His brother's Ian Rappaport.
Are they brothers?
I think they're all, and he used to be a big time Democrat.
He says he's voting for Trump.
Yeah, he's the guy in New York City. It's an asshole, right?
Yeah, kind of red hair.
Yeah, I think it's Ian Rappaport's brother. He's an actor and a comedian.
Yeah,
and the fantasy football guy.
Yeah, but I didn't know that I just knew they had the same last name. I didn't know if they were brothers.
I don't know for sure, but I think they are.
It's a very unique last name for it to not be related. But anyway, 2016 bash Trump every chance he got. 2020 bash Trump every chance he got, and now he's. I got no choice.
It's simple.
But he loves New York City, and he's seeing what's actually going on, and the illegal immigrants that are coming up there, and I mean just the lawlessness. He sees it. So I mean, kudos to him.
I was in Manhattan 3 times last year, 3 times, and the third time was so much worse than the first time.
Really? See, I didn't know last year when we were up there. I didn't know we were only there for a couple hours, so it's not like I got
Yeah, it's just
was walking the
It was
street.
bad. Boston, I didn't notice it being bad at all. I thought Boston's a beautiful town, and I didn't feel unsafe in Boston anywhere. In New York City, I didn't feel safe much anywhere at all. The second trip especially, I don't big cities. I wouldn't feel safe in Memphis, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. It don't matter where you go.
Right.
If it's a big city, it's dangerous nowadays. You know, that's what's funny about where we were in Mexico. We're in a little island called Isla Mujeres, and we sat outside and we ate at restaurants every night.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you know, it's funny. I said, if we were any big city in America, I would not sit with my back to the street. I would sit my back to the wall where I could see what's going on in front of me.
They spell their name differently.
So maybe they aren't kin then.
Michael Rappaport with an A, Ian Rappaport with an O.
So they're not kin then. Okay.
Probably
But yeah, I know who Michael Rappaport is. He's been on some shows.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, he's a big time anti-Trump person until now. And all of a sudden he's like, listen, if we want to fix our country, those people like, is it Westerly? It's Westerly, Rhode Island is where Taylor Swift's home is.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a big, beautiful resort there. And I was looking some stuff up and stuff. The median income in that place is probably about $300,000 a year for those people.
Right.
Well, those people right there are going to vote 90% blue. They do every time because they don't ever see any of that other shit.
Right.
You know, when they go get on their yacht in the bay, they're not affected by any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they go down and sit down and dinner cost them $500, I don't think nothing of it. They got plenty of money. Money is irrelevant if you got a lot of it.
No, I mean, that's exactly right.
I mean, you don't think about it. If you got plenty of money, then when someone has money to spend, you know, it don't matter. How much is that? Okay. Or they don't even ask.
I mean, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal that we're in right now. For sure. But I think I would be shocked. I don't know how they would cheat that much to win this election. I really don't. But
you don't think they can cheat enough to do it?
No. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I just don't see how.
I don't. If I wake up in the morning and Joe Biden resigns, I don't know how you can drop out of the presidential race and still be president. If he's not cognitive enough to be president, I mean to run, then he shouldn't be in office right now.
Right.
And that would make Kamala become president. And I don't know if the deep state wants to do that either, because I think that they put her up there because they thought they could control her because she's so stupid. She literally has got to be one of the dumbest people to ever serve in office in this country. She's as dumb as that guy that thought that island could tip over. Do you remember that guy? Did you ever see that guy?
I don't think so.
You need to look, right, whatever you're on right now, pull up Congressman thinks island can tip over.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And he's like, well, if we put too many people on there, that whole island can just tip over in the ocean.
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
She's that fucking dumb. She really is. I listened to a clip of her on BET at some deal, and she's like, you know, I'm out there beating them streets. No, what you beat was Willie Brown. You ain't beating the streets. But they control her. That's why she's there at that spot. And they tried to check all the boxes. She has a lower approval rating than Congress does. That's how bad she is.
Yeah.
And that's who you're going to run as president? Well, there's no way. So they don't want her, so they're going to keep Biden. But they can't get rid of her. You just can't cut bait with her. You know, I don't know how that. Have we ever had a president change vice presidents between 1 year to another year?
I'm sure it's happened. Yeah, I'm sure it's happened.
Can you imagine the clusterfuck that's going to be the Democratic National Convention in Cleveland or in Chicago? I mean, Have they ever just had a chance where they're just going to concede an election?
Yeah, I don't. I've never heard of it, but I mean that's basically the position that they're in right now.
We have a chance as a country if we really, 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 with conservatives versus liberal fuckheads, really, truly conservative chance, because the down ballot voting should be any kind of like John Tester in Montana, the senator. This should push him out of any chance of winning. Every Democrat out there that's running for office that's in a tight election, they have got to be shitting on themselves right now, knowing they're fixing to be unemployed.
Yeah,
because there should be no way that the Democrats are going to have enough excitement for people to go vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be able to take a majority in the House, the Senate, and the White House and be able to get some shit done. Now, I don't want no more of this fucking being a politician. I want Trump to come in there and clean house and fix our fucking country.
Sounds like he might.
That's what he needs to do. I want him to clean out the CIA, the DOJ, the Department of Education. Let the state start taking over all their shit on Department of Education. Get rid of all this fucking stupid testing. These teachers are underpaid. Get some federal money so we can get some teachers some better pay to these small school districts and big school districts. And one of my most important things to do, make some transparency up there for everybody that's in office where you see where their money comes from. And I want to know about the damn sexual stuff they've paid off all those years. That money them Congress has paid off, that slush fund. I want that to be transparent too. And clean up and get rid of the IRS. Would you be okay with the 10% sales tax?
Yeah, that's what we had in the Bahamas.
I would. Well, on top of their deal with just a 10% flat fee.
Yeah, it was a flat tax.
You're paying 8.5% in Texas right now.
Right.
That's your state sales tax. I would be okay if you added my 8% and you added 10% on top of that, and you said you didn't have to pay any kind of income tax at all.
Yeah.
Flat. Let's do this. Let's do 15%. Give the state 7.5%. Give the federal government 7.5%, and be done with it. Mm-hmm. No filing. No do shit. Nothing at all. And I think majority of Americans would want that.
Yeah, it's way easy.
Yeah. Now, the single mom that's got 14 kids and she's getting a check for $9,600 every January, she's going to be pissed. Christmas in January or February.
Right.
But everybody else is going to be happy.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. We're at a fun time. I just think that there's a reason that they did the debate when they did.
Well, it depends which side you're on. Trump's the one that agreed on all these stipulations.
But the Democrats wanted to do this in June.
No. I got that. I got that part. What I'm saying is that for Trump to agree to all this shit, he knew that he was going to be I think they knew that it was going to be this bad. I don't think they knew it was going to be this bad. They thought it was going to be bad.
Right.
I don't think anybody thought that was going to be the shit show that it turned out to be.
It definitely is.
And it was. I told Michelle, I said, from the time we left the United States till we come back is a whole different world we live in when you listen to the news cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we left, it was all about how good Biden was. Because I listened to Fox News a little bit on the radio the other day before we went, and it was, it was all about Trump being a criminal, a felon, blah, blah, blah. This time, it was all about fucking Joe shitting in his pants.
Right.
That's what it is. All right, this was a special little podcast we did. It's our recap of the debate. Transparency, did not watch the debate. I just seen clips of it. Andy watched it. He wasted his time. I didn't.
No, I watched the RFK version. It was really good.
Who's going to be president and who's going to be president next February?
Trump.
I think so too. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless you. Remember, Hook and Gaff watch giveaway at Squad Fest. Go check out Shin Gear. They got all kinds of new stuff coming out. Top notch. As good of material as there is. Also, November 18th, 19th, and 20th is this Boss Steel Reserve Hunt. Holler at me. We still got some dates left on that. You come out and shoot the Steel Reserve. See you at Squad Fest in St. Louis. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Mallard Bay, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Hemp Hill Farm. Use our promo code BHP. Double T British Kennels, Mitch Hall Chevrolet, Ducks Unlimited, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls. Use our promo code BHP25, Boss Shot Shells, and MLR Graphics.